And if we want him there, tell him he's got to show up to pick up the contract.
You want him there well, can he be there physically though?
He's a consultant, so I don't know. Ask Kathy tomorrow. I guess he could just phone in if we got any questions. We're just going to review and see what we feel we want to bring to the. We're not going to bring it. Well, I don't think we're going to get anything done for October. There's not enough time for hearings.
Right. There's not enough time with all of the deadlines we have to meet in the public hearings and everything else.
So, I think if we meet and just discuss which bylaws we want to push forward, and by doing that would let Heather know whether or not the board was in favor of the bylaw change that she's proposing or not.
Okay, are you talking about just doing the Heather one, or are you talking about all of them that we were talking about?
Well, I know there's a whole, we've got a running list of some of some rezoning we talked about on East Street.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here, I got the agreement.
You got what?
I just found the agreement that he sent.
Oh, you did find it.
Effective July 1, which we can always, leave it at that.
Well,
7,500. I think the question was, is Chris Martin Bundy going to go ahead with hiring a planner or not?
Well, it's been well over a year since the town approved it. We don't have anybody, so we can't not have a consultant right now.
Right, and we did review last year. We reviewed the job description and gave him our comments. So, okay.
And again, with health issues and the COVID, that's probably stalled the process. So I would ask if there's a motion to approve the contract tonight, and then I can go down and sign it tomorrow, if in fact we approve it.
If you want, I can make a motion to approve the PVP's contract for $7,500 for fiscal year 2021 for the planning board.
We have a second?
Bob Sheehan will second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Bob Sheehan?
Aye.
Rob Chavez?
Aye.
Dean Camus?
Aye.
Jason Smigiel? Aye. Jim Trumke? Aye.
Oh, good.
You can when you talk with Kathy and you come up with the date and place, we can let Ken know.
Okay, and I'll let him know that that's going to be signed tomorrow.
Yeah, I should be able to get down there tomorrow.
Okay, I will send it to Kathy and change it from Glenn's name to your name, and I will copy you so you know in case it gets lost somewhere.
Okay, perfect.
I don't know if you want to go through the to-do lists, the action items, or you just put that off until next time.
Let me ask you a question. Did Glenn finish all of his?
Yes, he did. Well, no, he didn't. He was supposed to check with Chris Martin regarding the proposed scope of the DLTA grant that Ken Comey sent. And that was the one that was going to help us with the master plan and other things.
Correct.
I didn't hear anything back. I don't know if you heard anything, but that was, I put the date of June 23rd on there, and
That came and went.
yes, so
Well,
that was the only thing.
Okay, well, seeing you're going down there tomorrow.
You want me to check with Chris Martin? I can do that.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Kathy sent out a late email to all the surrounding towns with some of the notices that were sent.
Oh, I saw that, yes.
Yes.
Anybody else see it?
Yes,
I saw it, yeah. Anybody have any questions? I mean, we just got it, so that, I guess review it, and if there's any issues or questions, bring it to the next meeting. The next
Okay,
regular-
I do have at least one comment. The town of Butter list from the town of Amherst, somewhere Granby must just touch within the, was it 300 foot?
To be considered a butter?
As, yes, but, you know, I looked up where, Gray Street and Main Street are, and that doesn't affect us at all. So that's kind of a courtesy things that towns do with each other. I remember in the past, we've seen things from South Hadley, Chicopee, Ludlow, Belchertown, so.
Yeah, we even have it from the city of Chicopee, and I don't know anywhere where we abut Chicopee.
Right.
And I know Kathy sends our stuff out to them, so.
Yeah.
I have a question. Did anybody hear from Mr. Katowitz? We requested him to come to one of our meetings.
I'm sorry, hear from who?
Just Alan Katowitz?
No, he sent a letter in
Yeah, an
requesting see
extension.
if I can find another extension. And he had
In the correspondence, I think it was another one that Kathy sent, it has something from Ed Chapdelaine about that, and
yeah, Ed Chapdelaine certified that there hasn't been any stormwater management changes since the original, no state mandated changes since the original approval.
so do we need him to come before the board, or not that he can, but he can do it electronically.
Excuse me for a minute. Bob Sheehan's going to recuse himself from the Alan Katowitz discussion.
So noted.
So do we need to have him come to the meeting? It just seems to be hanging in the air, and we haven't gone forward or backward. I know because it's been a while and it's the umpteenth extension that we thought maybe the plans might have been out of date or something.
Yeah, the wetlands held them up.
Mhm.
Let me check with town council.
Okay.
That was approved back in, when was it approved, Lou? 2016, 14?
Something like that, yeah. Long before my time.
Thanks.
So what are you gonna check with town council about?
To see if we can extend it another 2 years. Provided there's no additional, there's no changes, there's nothing. There's been no wetland changes or no stormwater management changes that he would have to comply to today that he hasn't already. So he's still in compliance with all of today's regulations. What's changed? Nothing, but there may be a formality. There may be a formality where we have to go back.
Because it's been.
Let me check with town council,
Okay,
see if it is something that we can vote on to approve. That'd be a good question for Ken too. If he were here.
okay, assuming, other than the action items, I don't have anything else, and pretty much those were all completed, so.
You want to go through the action items real quick, so that'll help Jason come up to speed with what's out there?
Okay, so the first one is for you to sign the MVP Action Grant Support. Which you did. Remember that, Jim?
I'm
Okay.
sorry, I didn't hear that.
You were to sign the MVP Action Grant Support Letter. Which you
I
did.
believe I did that. Yeah.
And myself, Bob and Rob were to sign the A&Rs for Kraus on Barton Street and Poets Maximilian Drive, which we did. Now, as a reminder, we all need to sign the A&R we just approved today because we all approved it.
Everybody voted on it. Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody has to sign it. Ken Comia was to create a site plan approval for Guy and Charlotte Cody for board review. It's been done, reviewed, signed, and so that's completed. Next one, Jim, you were to meet with the building inspector, town council, and health department about our general stormwater issues. That's completed. Obtain final billing numbers for Borrego. I'm going to, seeing as we're bumping billing, I'll put that with it. Send invoice to Kathy Leonard for Raymond Beaujolais. That's completed. Research original billing for Granby Solar for square footage. Jim, I was to get that to you. I'll send that to you later.
You're gonna get that to Bob. Bob was gonna calculate all that out.
Oh, okay.
No.
I thought you were gonna do that one, and Bob's doing the Red Rock Solar.
Right.
And so, Bob, on Red Rock Solar.
Have not done anything. I guess since that file is so big to send, I'm going to have to get some way or another a set of plans, paper copy.
Okay, they should be in the either in the drawer or in the file cabinet there in the old library.
Yeah, and unfortunately,
unless Kathy has a set. Kathy might have a set too.
yeah, Jim, you don't have a key to that filing cabinet, do you?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Glenn was supposed to drop
Well-
off the keys. I'll see him probably. I think he was gonna leave them with Kathy tonight because they had a select board meeting.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, blah, blah, blah. There's more billing free draft invoices for Granby DG series, building and signs. That'll be in the next one. Ken was to send the board samples of how other towns address venue zoning. This is Heather Huntington. And he did that. I'll forward those to you. And he was to send planning board copies of other town bylaws regarding large gathering. That's kind of the same thing. And he was also supposed to send the board information on Westover Metropolitan Development Corporation. I don't remember what that was about, and I don't remember seeing anything on that. Does anybody else? Did I put everybody to sleep?
I don't recall any of that.
Okay. Then check with Chris Martin regarding the proposed scope of the DLTA grants that Campomia sent. I'll take care of that in place of Brian. The other two are ongoing for me. Create a spreadsheet for PVPC charges and keep track of items to submit for the town annual report.
Well, so we really shortened that list this evening.
Yes, we did. Well, we
Nice.
added a couple of things for me.
Right.
So our
there
next
any-
meeting is to be determined, right, depending on what Kathy says.
Correct.
Right.
That'll be, but there'll be nothing else on the agenda other than discussing the list of potential bylaw changes.
Okay, now what about, if somebody comes in with an A&R or something like that, we need another meeting for that.
That'll have to go to one of our regular scheduled meetings.
Well, we can't meet on the 27th. So.
Well, it's up to you guys. I mean, we could put a little bit of time aside if something comes in, I guess, but I'd like to grind out, get some answers for Heather and ourselves, what we need to start working on.
Well, can we meet
So-
Tuesday, the 28th?
Fine by me.
Tuesday's not good for you, Bob?
That should be okay. That particular Tuesday.
Rob?
Yeah, 28th is fine with me.
Jason?
Yep, 28th is good for me.
Yeah?
I'm good. I'm still in town.
Okay. Okay, so I'll put that in. Okay, that's all I have.
Hey, just one thing, I'll just bring everybody up to speed on. There's a land transfer purchasing going on over at Trout Lily. And the purchasing attorney is trying to get some information from the town in regards to an easement that was set aside to address stormwater management, a detention pond. And I guess it's written in there somewhere where the town has the right to assess the homeowners if it's not being maintained correctly. The attorney for the buyer is looking for that paperwork to see if it ever got filed. And I talked to the town attorney called me about it. I wasn't on the board then. I was back in 2007, I believe. Does anybody, maybe you would recall, Bob, do you know if that street was ever accepted by the town?
Dave DeRocher would know for certain. I thought that it had been, that was accepted the same time Maximilian Drive was accepted. But I'm not positive of that either.
I'll check with either Dave or Kathy Kelly Regan. So it should be on file as well.
I was just going to say Kathy Kelly Regan should have all that paperwork, and it may be even at the Registry of Deeds.
True.
So where does that come in with the planning board?
Well, they were just wanting to know what was around that easement, and I wasn't on the board at the time, but previously board members felt as though that when we accepted a street, we only accept a portion of it, and we make the homeowners responsible for the detention ponds that the stormwater dumps into. And in order to do that, you have to form an association. And that gets sticky. It's my opinion, when the town accepts the road, they accept the infrastructure that goes with it. And it should be the town's responsibility once they approve it. Once they accept it.
For the whole road?
To take the road in. I mean, to me, if the town isn't maintained, just to throw it out there, let's say the town doesn't maintain the storm drains correctly. therefore your detention areas fill up with more silt and sand from winter, then it's on, it becomes a finger pointing thing. Who's responsible for what? And that's part of the detention areas are part of the stormwater management for the streets. So to me, they should, if you accept the street, you accept the stormwater management system that's under the street, you should be accepting the areas that are used to detain water. And it's not that expensive, I don't believe. I mean, Dave DeRocher could speak to it better, but at the same, I mean, you're taking tax dollars from the homeowners on the street. And we had that discussion with Maximilian on the second phase, and the board at the time, I believe, agreed not to do that, not to set up that, not to have them set up the association.
Wouldn't that be in the decision that Kathy Kelly Reagan should have a copy of?
Correct, but the problem is they don't think it was ever filed.
The association or the decision?
The decision
No.
on that easement. So that's the town attorney's looking into it, and that's why I figured I'd bring the board up to speed on it. It's holding up a sale.
So it might come back to us.
Could come back to us to determine.
So in other words, we're going to let the town council handle this
For the most part, yes.
at this
But
point in time, anyway.
Yeah, he may advise it to come back to us to come up with an answer for it.
Okay.
Nobody seems to have that document that ever got. In other words, the developer never filed,
Okay.
and the town never followed up on it.
All the more reason to get a plan.
And all the more reason, not to put things in place we don't have mechanisms to manage.
Right.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything?
Bob Sheehan does. Jason, welcome to the planning board.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And now I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
We have a second?
Rob will second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Bob Sheehan,
Aye.
Eileen Camus,
Aye.
Rob Chavez,
Aye.
Jason Smigiel. Jim Trompe.